88.1 The Berg, your music central. It's your boy Shane Dog here, and we are kicking it in the backyard burn. And as always, I've got my buddy Mr. Noah Annette. Noah, tell the people what you know.
And so I've been watching a lot of TV as usual.
As always.
And actually, my dad. This one I forgot to talk to you about in our little break time. But me and my dad we know a lot about the fishing industry, and Deadliest Catch was on. So of course my dad has to flip over and critique every single second of it. And so they had like this special. It was like the Russians are coming, right? And so then there's like they're gonna be doing like crab wars at the border, right? Mm-hmm. And he was getting all jazzed about it. He's like, that boat doesn't even do this. Why are they even fishing in this area? That doesn't do that. And like, so first off, when you have some expertise in a field, it's sometimes just better not to know what's going on, because my dad will just be like, blah, 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 and not like old Deadliest Catch. Not a big fan. But
your dad knows. Your dad
knows
a few of the Deadly Catch guys, right? Yeah, your dad knows a few of the Deadly Catch guys, though, right?
Yeah, he knows probably like a ton of them. Like there's some of them that I know, and then there's like a couple that like live up the road. Like so, like Sig's got like a yacht over on Big Lake over here, and over like kind of near where I'm from, and he just like goes out on his little yacht with his family and has this big old house over there. He's got like a mansion in an area where there's like a bunch of really rich people that have mansions, and then everything around it's just like normal everyday people. So it's kind of like you're either super high society or you're like right middle class, like you're easily middle class.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and so that's kind of like how Big Lake works. But yeah, I don't really know why you'd want to live in Big Lake though, because it's not like any of his family members like went to school with me over here or anything like that. They all like live over in kind of in near Seattle-ish area, because one of my buddies actually went to school with his kids.
Interesting. Well, your dad watches a lot of the TV shows with you, so you watch Deadliest Catch. What else do you guys like to watch?
Well, my dad, once again, loves The Masked Singer, probably more than me. He was really thrilled about it yesterday. But there were two reveals that got me really angry, and I'm just putting the spoiler alert on here because it's been a while since these ones have happened. We're still not even caught up on the season that's currently going on. But so there was it was the Swan was one of them, and I was dead set on this being Kristen Stewart from Twilight. You know Kristen Stewart?
Yeah.
Okay, so like not all the people on here are singers. Some of them are actors, right?
Yeah.
And actresses and whatnot. And I was like, this is Kristen Stewart. They made Twilight references. They showed vampire teeth. Who is this? And like, it better be Kristen Stewart. And like all the panelists are guessing Kristen Stewart too, right? No, it's Bella Thorne. And it was because Bella Swan is Kristen Stewart's character in Twilight. And so it was Bella Thorne, and I was frustrated. I was like, you made all of these hints like it was going to be Kristen Stewart, and it wasn't. So it just had me going for a while. Then the next
disappointment.
Then the next episode, it's more of a disappointment because I just don't really understand how this person's famous at all. It was like this one character. It was the dinosaur. And you knew it was like a younger girl, and it was someone that is a famous younger girl. And, of course, who else could it be but YouTube sensation JoJo Siwa? And I was like, are you kidding me? I was so frustrated. Just back-to-back episodes of pure disappointment. That is what I would call that.
JoJo Siwa scares the living life out of me, dude. She scares me.
I don't even know what she does. Like, I just hear her yell and scream, and I just don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Dude, she's like, she's so obnoxious. I hate her. She's like cancer to the media. I've said this about a few people. She's one of them. She is awful. I feel so bad for some of these parents that have kids that are fans of this clown. My God. I mean, I'm also making judgments about like a 17-year-old girl. So, I mean, what type of person am I? But, unbearable. She makes my skin crawl. I would have been the same. I would have been mad. I would have been like, oh, a dinosaur. What was the meaning for the dinosaur? Let me guess. I love dinosaurs.
I don't know, but my parents were like, "What's a JoJo Siwa?" Like, they're older, so they've never heard of her at all. Like, they know like a lot of famous people, but they're like, "What is this?" And I don't even know how I don't know. When I think of YouTube, I don't think of JoJo Siwa. Like, I just think of so many other people than her, and that was just what was going on in my frustrating TV life. I mean, there's other good shows I like, but recently Deadliest Catch and Masked Singer rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
Well, I enjoy both of those shows now because you've got me hooked on them. So, I mean, who knows, man? You'll probably find something else to complain about. You're always on the TV.
Oh, I'm still gonna watch it. Like, even if it's like it's one of those things. Even if it's bad, I kind of still watch it.
Yeah, you just gotta watch it and let it burn.
Like. Yeah, exactly.
88 the Bird, your music central. It is your boy Shane Dog, and we are still in the backyard burn, and we are still here with my trusty buddy, Mr. Noah Annette. Noah, NFL draft last night. What did you think about it?
I honestly thought it could have went faster. That was my first thought. It was going like a turtle, very slow. Mm-hmm. And other than it being really slow, I really liked how they kept the same things going that they normally do. They shouted out a bunch of agencies, had a couple different kids on there, and really made sure to make it personable to the fan audience. I think my biggest disappointment was my initial response to who my team, the Seattle Seahawks, drafted. But then after some analysis from me, Google searching about 100 things, I felt a lot more comfortable with the pick.
I absolutely feel that. My Niners didn't do probably the best, but they didn't do too bad. We got a good defensive tackle described as the most violent player in the draft. So, I mean, if you're going to give us some violence, I'm excited with that. But one player that I actually was really hoping that my San Francisco 49ers would get was Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of the University of Alabama.
Yeah, he went to the Broncos.
Yeah, he's a Denver Bronco now. He's going to be up in Mile High Stadium. And one thing that I thought was troll is this clip here that we're going to play for you here. Please roll the clip, Elliot. Jerry Jeudy, after getting drafted, asked on video chat to do the Tootsie Roll slide with Roger Goodell. Basically, I'm saying either way, we about to slide. Look at that. He did the Tootsie slide by Drake. Like, how can you convince the commissioner to do a TikTok with you? Only in the circumstances that it's COVID-19 and you can't do like the traditional hug or pick the commissioner up. Some of the big guys usually do. But Jerry Jeudy breaking out a TikTok after getting picked. I believe he was picked. He was in the teens. I believe he was picked like 16th overall. I could be wrong.
I think he's 15. I'll double check. I got the app.
You've got the app. But he was a big guy and a big class of receivers that everybody was really excited about. CeeDee Lamb going to the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of big picks going out. But I thought,
speaking of CeeDee Lamb, I have to just bring this up. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. His girlfriend stole his phone while he's on the phone getting drafted. And it is just very comical to see that. I just had to bring that up.
I wonder what the reasonings were. I wonder if it was just like, hey, you texting anybody on your phone? You talking to any side chicks? Or was it she had to get to the Dallas Cowboys? She had to talk to Jerry Jones herself and talk about how much she was going to get paid. She was making
exactly.
She was making her deal. She's like, hey, listen, I want to know how this is going to work. And CeeDee Lamb's just sitting there like, okay, what? Yeah, the thing is that it's all like live stream. So maybe it was like right after and then she took it, but you don't know. It's still pretty comical though that something like that would happen on this draft. But the one thing that made me kind of sad about this draft is that usually you see like all these people, usually when they're at home on some of these videos chats, they have like their whole family there. Like everybody's there. There's like hundreds of people around them. And that just wasn't the case this year. And that made me kind of sad. Like watching Joe Burrows just sitting alone on his couch with his mom and dad getting picked by the Bengals, #1 overall. That's like very underwhelming for such a huge accomplishment.
You know what? I'm going to completely disagree with you on this. I think it was so cool that they all had to be at their homes with their families, because sometimes they're just like at the draft by themselves, or they have like one or two parents there, you know, at the big draft event. They had to be like at home with like their whole like actual family. But the thing that I was just wondering about while I was watching it is how many of these athletes and their families is it actually their house that they were staying at during this draft process?
We were asking that same question.
Yeah. Did the university rent a house for them? Or did someone else do something? Like who, or maybe like the teams helped them get a place? Because some of the players were already at like a place that was so close to where they were going to be staying at that I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But then some of the people just lived right by the team they were getting drafted by. Like Chase Young lived 55 miles from from the Redskins facilities.
Yeah, that was pretty cool seeing him get drafted back to his hometown and be able to do a lot of work there for a lot of, the underprivileged in his area, which is something that's pretty cool about some of these guys coming out of the league. They're really about to make a difference. And another thing that I bring up about why I love the draft is you just get to sit and you get to watch people's lives change in like an instant. You see some people that have had like some very hard struggles and have, come out of like extreme poverty. And then they get a phone call and it's this like, hey, do you want like $40 million and to play a game? Like that's life changing.
40 million. Yeah. Like a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah. You want a couple $1,000,000 just to throw a football and catch it? That's what we're going to give you.
Do you want $4 million to kick a ball? Like,
yeah, it's that easy. Yeah. It's incredible, but I'm happy that the draft process is over. I'm just ready for football to just start back up because sports, I miss them. I miss them a lot. So we're going to keep rolling.
I'm pretty excited for the second round. That's where my team thrives at, Shane. They never do good in the first, but in the second, that's their time to shine.
Well, I think everybody gets a lot of their shining stars in the later rounds. I mean, look at Joe Montana. Look at Tom Brady. Look at a lot of these different big goats.
Look at my boy Chris Carson getting drafted in the 5th round.
I just got some pretty interesting news this morning from my Aunt Mary out in London, England, currently residing out in the south of France right now during this virus outbreak. But she has been listening to the Backyard Burn on our YouTube page all the way over in Europe. How neat is that?
That's pretty neat, Shane.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. But she sent me an article because the other day we were talking about going off and doing something good for somebody else. We're in a time where we have a lot of time on our hands and we can make time to go do something, better somebody else's life or better, the community around us. And I wanted to talk about my homie, Captain Tom Moore. Captain Tom Moore is an old British captain in the British Army, and he is going to be turning 100 years old on April 30th. That's in about 6 days.
Oh, man.
And this entire month, he has vowed to raise money to do 100 laps in his garden before his 100th birthday. And as of right now, he has raised over 26 million pounds, which pounds, equates to dollars here in the United States. But imagine $26 million for doing 100 laps in your garden. I mean, if you can do anything, you can do as much as this guy. I think you probably have to do more than 100 laps in your own garden to probably get as much money as this cat. But that is a great example of just somebody really going off and trying to do something a little bit different and trying to raise some funds and trying to help the people around him.
Honestly, Tom Moore, my guy right here, I don't know how big his garden is, but regardless, as bad as that pun is, I know all the boos are coming my way. Roger Goodell, I just beat you out. Anyways, I think that it's really awesome that he's doing this because for someone that is the age of soon to be 100 and is 99 currently, like that is a big feat because like you think about it, like most people that are in their older age categories, like it's just hard to move around in general. And looking at the picture, he looks like he was really determined with his little walker he had going on there. Like he was going to get that done, and that was all he wanted to do for his birthday.
Well, I like that he's just doing it with his medals on and everything. Like he's putting on his Sunday best and he's taking these strolls. He knows there's going to be cameras on him and stuff, and he's just like, I'm going to do these 100 laps with class.
Yeah, check it out. I'm Tom Moore.
Yeah, Captain Tom Moore here to not only do all these laps, but here to steal your girl as well at 100 years old.
You can call me the captain.
Yeah, Captain Tom Moore. If you guys want to go check it out, definitely go look it up. It will definitely be over in a lot of different European news sources, BBC and some of those places. But Captain Tom Moore, shouts out to you. We're sending you love over here from America, and we hope you get them 100 laps. I can't find out how many laps he's on. I think he might be crazy. He's just going to do them all in one day. I think he's going to do a little catch-up. But Tom Moore, you got our support, buddy. Noah, yesterday, I finally broke the news. I finally challenged Will to this duel-off between the Backyard Burn and Orton the Bear. And I've been debating on what I want to do, and I believe I'm going to challenge Will to some trivia. And yeah. I think I need your help because I know that you are our residential Jeopardy expert and big fun fact guy. So what type of, like, what do you think we should stump Will with? Because we know he's good with NFL draft picks. We figured that out yesterday.
I think if you, like, so you have to think about, like, what's a category that you yourself are an expert in? Like, if you asked him about rugby knowledge, he probably don't know it. Like I'm saying, like if it's like about like rugby history, not like how the game's played, but like the history of like the teams. That's not a fair category. I think we need something that you're like you have an edge at, but it's an even playing field.
Absolutely. I don't know. I think I should give him like 2 or 3 categories to pick from, and then be like, you got to pick one. So we could do rugby. We could do. I think one that would be funny is. Equine and equestrian, just to like throw him off because it just means horses. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people probably in the Ellensburg area that are listening to us that are, you know, in the industry. There's a lot of hay and horses out in these parts, and they're probably like, yeah, Shane, we know what equine is. All right. But a lot of people don't. I didn't know what it was, and I had an equestrian center at my house. I just was just like, yeah, I don't know what equestrian means, but I guess it means horses. Which
if you listen to equine, you think of like the mix between like a horse and a pig is what I would immediately think of if I didn't know that word.
Well, equine, like I would be an swine. That's what you're thinking of. Yeah, and that is not possible.
Well, I mean, for now.
I think we should. I think also maybe Greek mythology. That would be a good one.
Greek mythology? Who even knows Greek mythology? I think
no one. That's why.
You don't even know Greek mythology, Shane.
I mean, know about Orion and his belt.
Oh wow!
That's part of the Greek mythology. It's up in the sky. You can see it, Noah. It's real. If you can see it, it's real.
If you ask me anything about the stars, I probably know 2 things. One, that there's stars, and 2, one of them's called the Big Dipper.
Yeah, you got the Big Dip and the Little Dip. That is, I mean, that's a simple constellation knowledge. No, you should know that. Maybe we should make constellations a category.
I would lose.
I think you all should be able to send us in some categories. We're going to give Will 3 categories to choose from, and we're going to give him about 5 to 10 questions each for the trivia. If you guys have any suggestions, please text it in at 509-963-2311, or you can hit up on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 881 or at ShaneDog6 on Instagram or at Noah_Annette. 88.1 The Berg, your music central. It is the Backyard Burn, and the fire's getting low, and it's time to call in the dogs. And your dog is here first, Mr. Shane Dog Peterson with Mr. Noah Annette. Noah, it has been a very fast but rewarding week here on the Burn and everywhere else. Please tell us what you're doing this weekend.
I got some homework to do. My professor just opened up a new module, so that's going to be something that I got to get done, which is, whatever. Apparently we're doing some case study or whatnot. Other than that, there's a lot of League of Legends to be played and a lot of League of Legends to be watched. We got the LCK and the LPL tournaments going on right now, and I'm going to be glued to my computer.
Well, we'll be looking forward to some of those updates in the esports world coming from you as well, and some more content coming out of the Berg's e-gaming department. You could find all that on YouTube, and you could also find us on all major social media outlets, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at 881 The Berg. And I just want to say happy Friday, everybody. Please be safe out there. Love one another. Wash your hands. And let's keep it real. This is Shane Dog and Mr. Noah Annette signing out for the week.